Oh god, I have reached peak hipster.
Darling,
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Thrift Flippin' with Ashley. The theme song never gets better, but this is a series that I do on my channel where I turn ugly thrifted stuff into slightly less ugly thrifted stuff, or as I like to call it, puberty for clothing. Before we jump into the video, I did want to apologize if I'm lisping more than normal. I just got Invisalign a couple days ago, and I'm still getting used to the fact that there's a plastic torture device inside my mouth 24/7. Shout out to 12-year-old Ashley who thought she was too cool to get braces. I hope you enjoyed the 0 boys that you dated while you were in middle school. On to the actual content that you guys clicked for. So today we are doing an Urban Outfitters inspired thrift flip, which I am so excited for because you guys know I love Urban Outfitters as much as the next 20-year-old who cut her bangs at home, but obviously Urban Outfitters can get pretty expensive, especially for a store that steals like 90% of its aesthetic from thrifted items to begin with. So I thought it would be the perfect brand to try to recreate some of their pieces for a little bit cheaper and also a little bit more sustainably. So the first thing I'm gonna try to imitate is this high-waisted, vintage-inspired short. This is pretty much the short that anybody on Instagram wears, but these retail for $69 spicy dollarinos. I literally am a 14-year-old boy, I'm so sorry. So today I'm gonna try to DIY them out of some thrift store jeans. I got these beauties for $8 at Goodwill, and they are a Levi's 501. The jeans of Depop girls' wet dreams. However, the problem with thrifting vintage Levi's in LA is, first of all, they are hard as hell to find because trendy bitches are searching through all of the aisles. But second of all, they tend to be really large or in men's styles, so it can be a little bit hard if you're smaller like me to find something that fits exactly. But the good part is that if you start with jeans that are quite oversized on you, it's much easier to make them very high-waisted because this larger fit already has a very large, what's this called? Like the crotch length? Rise. It has a very large rise already, so it's gonna help me get that ultra high-waisted, like up to the belly button look. So the challenge with altering jeans is that you have so many details to avoid, and namely these 4 pockets. So I need to make sure that I don't take off too much fabric from the front pockets because I still want those to maintain their general position, but I also want to make sure these back pockets end in the right place. So if I take all the fabric from the sides, I'm gonna end up with this like weirdly wide set butt situation, but if I take off all of the fabric from the inside of the butt crack, then my pockets are gonna run into each other and it's gonna look really weird. So I'm thinking the optimal solution is to take off a little bit from the sides and a little bit from the back so that hopefully the pockets will all balance out. To start out, I think I can get away with around an inch dart on each of the sides without disturbing the pocket situation too much. So I'm gonna start with that and then we'll take off the rest of the fabric from the buttock. Before I got to sewing, I snipped off the belt hoops from either side because they were just gonna end up getting sucked into my side darts, so I figured why not take them off right off the bat. I also cut off the pant legs. This doesn't have to be super accurate, you can go and fix the hem later. I just wanted to reduce the overall bulk of the fabric so it would be easier to manipulate in the sewing machine. Now, sewing through denim on a regular sewing machine is a bit of a challenge. I actually broke a needle doing this, so remember to go slowly and use a hand crank when sewing over those thicker layers. Okay, so admittedly, this is not looking too hot right now. It kind of looks like a giant denim diaper, but I promise it will get better, or at least I think so, or at least I hope so, because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Now for the giant ass dart. Pun intended, kids. Oh god. I am gathering all the extra fabric to the back and really like folding this over to make sure that I get as close to like a flattering butt shape as possible on these things. That's gonna create this little like divot here. I'm gonna take a Sharpie and mark all the way down this nice little butt crease. And don't forget to get that top section where you want the waist to end. Oh god, I feel like I'm not being very accurate here. And you wanna make sure you're going like all the way down the booty. And then hopefully, oh god, it just kind of looks like I shat on my pants. If I sew up this line, it's gonna turn into a well-fitting pair of shorts. Maybe. We'll see. The waist is now looking snatched. However, I did kind of make a mistake in not sewing directly down the middle. I didn't think it would really matter that much, but it kind of looks stupid when my butt cheeks are like asymmetrical and this hem is off to the side. Now that we have proof of concept, at least, I'm gonna seam rip out just the top section of this because I think I did a pretty good job at the asshole area, you know, like that part is doing well. And then sew it, hopefully more evenly this time. Side note, I did finally buy a seam ripper, but then I promptly lost it within the next couple of weeks, so I'm just gonna use scissors to cut these out. So I think the place I went wrong is laying down this big ass seam flat on its side. I really didn't think it would make that much of a difference, but it did end up making the shorts lopsided. So this time when I resew it, I'm gonna stand this up straight so that I'm sewing exactly in the middle of the butt seam. Bros, look at this shit. My butt is so even. These shorts fit pretty goddamn well. Love that voice crack. You're 20 years old, Ashley, and still going through puberty, apparently. So hopefully the last thing that I have to do to the silhouette is to bring in the sides. When I did the side darts, I kind of left it like out as a pleat because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the legs, but it is a little bit triangular for my taste. I'm not trying to use the Pythagorean theorem today. So I'm folding in the remaining fabric over here, and I'm gonna sew little darts down the sides of the rest of my shorts so they're a bit more of a straight leg silhouette. Are you seeing this shit? I am a denim wizard. Originally, I thought I cut the hem of the shorts way too long, but I'm actually kind of satisfied with it. I would make them shorter, but I feel like it'll give me like a bit of a diaper look. I mean, that's not bad either, but I'm kind of digging this like 90s mom vibe, and plus I feel like it's a bit more of a unique silhouette that you can't just find at any basic store. So to finish up these shorts, I just have to cut off all the excess from the inside of the seams and distress the bottom hem a little bit so they look a bit more worn in and a bit less like I just cut them with a pair of scissors. To distress the shorts, I'm going at it with a box cutter Gustavo style. I'm cutting horizontal lines and then using tweezers to pull out the blue vertical strands in between for that classic distressed look. I didn't go too crazy with the distressing since luckily the days of destroyed jeggings are behind us all. So I just distressed, oh god, the list was coming out. I just distressed 2 small holes, one by the leg and one by the pocket. And here are the finished shorts. These shorts glowed up harder than I did in middle school, and that's saying something, folks. My craftsmanship may not have been perfect, but honestly, if that proves anything, it's just that if I can do it with my subpar sewing skills, you can also do it. I believe in you, fam. I'm now available for motivational speaking engagements. Please contact my manager for rates. The next thing I'm going to try to recreate from Urban Outfitters is a skirt that I already own. This, I spent $59 fucking on this skirt. It is a green plaid skirt with a little zipper detail down the front that I thought was super cool. So was it worth $59? I don't know, but we're gonna try to recreate it for a little bit less. So to start recreating that skirt, I picked up this skirt for $5.49 from Goodwill. Not exactly the same plaid pattern, but it has a similar forest green undertone running throughout, and I thought it was kind of a groovy, like, houndstooth-esque print. Luckily, unlike the jeans, the waist of this skirt pretty much fits perfectly already, thank the Lord. So I am just gonna start by altering the hem. To do that, I'm trying on the skirt and shimmying it up to about where I want the new mini skirt hem to end, and then marking that length with a safety pin. Next, I'm trimming the skirt about 1 inch below the safety pin. I found that skirt hems tend to look best when you leave a longer seam allowance, so try to leave at least 1 inch. Next, I'm trimming the lining about 1 inch shorter than the shell to make sure it doesn't peek out the bottom. Heading over to our trusty sewing machine, I'm hemming the shell first by folding over the fabric around 1 inch and sewing all the way around. Then I'm hemming the lining separately. I have made the mistake of trying to sew the lining to the shell or hem them together, but it always ends up like really bunched up and confusing, so I would just recommend hemming the 2 separately so everything lays a lot smoother. So here is how the skirt is looking post-hem. Honestly, this is one of the best hems that I've ever sewn, although that's not saying much because the bar is pretty fucking low. I'm not the best seamstress in town, let's just say that. But honestly, like, I did a pretty good job on this. It looks quite professional. So to put the finishing touches on this skirt, I bought these zippers from Joann's. They were like $5 each, so it wasn't too expensive. So the Urban one like goes in a bit of a curvy pattern like this, but I don't trust my ability to sew on zippers like in a curvy thing without them getting super wrinkly. So I'm trying to figure out which positioning would be optimal. I was thinking I could do like a little stripey. Oh, that's cute. Or I could go in like a triangle, or I could do one around the top. No, not a fan of that. I'm thinking that just one vertical stripe looks best, so I'm just gonna use some good old safety pins and pin this into place. To secure the zipper, I'm sewing 2 vertical lines down each side to ensure that it lays nice and flat against the skirt, and then securing the top of the zipper with some short horizontal stitches. And this is how the skirt turned out. Honestly, I'm so freaking proud of this one. The zipper is even still functional, so you can wear the skirt zipped up or zipped down for like a very marginally different look, but I don't know, I thought it was cool. I ended up leaving the edges of the zipper hanging off the ends because I liked that zigzag pattern at the end. I don't know, I thought it looked kind of edgy and was really unique. Obviously, this isn't an exact dupe for the Urban Outfitters skirt, but it's one of a kind, so to me, that makes it even better. And last up, I have seen a bunch of these cropped men's quarter zips going around. I've seen them at Urban Outfitters for around $50. I think they're really cute, but they also happen to be one of the easiest things that you can thrift and DIY yourself for a lot less than $50. So I got this men's sweater for $6.50 from the old thrift store-oni, and we're gonna turn it into one of those trendy tops. Since this sweater is made of a knit fabric that can unravel, unfortunately I can't just cut a raw edge and call it a day like I have done to many a thrift store t-shirt. Instead, I'm gonna fold the sweater to the length that I want to crop it and then sew right below the ribbed bottom hem. This is gonna create the look of a nice finished hem, which you guys will see in a second. Just continuing all the way around, making sure the hem is even, and then trimming off all the excess fabric. Now when you flip the sweater back around, it looks like this. And now you have taken your warm, cozy winter sweater into a definitely less practical but slightly more aesthetically pleasing cropped sweater. And if exchanging practicality for a slight aesthetic advantage isn't on brand for Urban Outfitters, I don't know what is. Those are all the thrift flips that I have for you guys today. Thank you for dealing with my lisp in this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye! In the meantime, I've just been trying to medicate as much as possible, you know, acetaminophen, ibuprofen, benzocaine, cocaine, the whole shebang. Literally earlier today, I put in so much benzocaine in my mouth that I opened my mouth to talk and just like a pile of drool fell out. So that's how my life is going right now.